right, Roadshow supporters. Well, if progressives or liberals want to know exactly why they lost the election, maybe they should listen to people like Sonny Hostin and immediately decide to go in the opposite direction. Her lack of respect for people in general is astonishing. The next thing is, and she makes sure she really puts emphasis on uneducated. They literally voted against you, and that comment right there, Sonny Hostin. People are fed up with disrespect from celebrities, media pundits, liberals, and progressives in general. And they voiced it. We saw the red wave. It came last night. All right. Michigan, Nevada may already be called right now. I know it was getting close about an hour ago. And Trump will have completed what is already a landslide, avalanche kind of win, leading the popular vote. I mean, the Republicans took it all. And a lot of it is because of the disrespect that people like the View, the women on the View. And I actually sat down, believe it or not, to watch the first 15 minutes of this. And I thought they tried to hold it together pretty well. And then we got to Sonny Hostin, and they had a ABC News pundit on there that was talking about polling, etc. And she decides to go on a tangent. And I pointed at the screen and I told my wife, there it is. That is exactly why they lost the election, because of idiots like this going on TV and saying this about anybody, people in general. Yeah, people are done with the disrespect from the left side of the party. No doubt about it. And these kind of celebrities and media pundits. So let's check this out right here. And let me play this because here we go.
52%, right, for Donald Trump. Uneducated white women, is my understanding. You have Latino men, actually, voting more for him. And you have, and black men was not the story. We're not the story here because they voted almost 80% for the vice president.
Right.
That's a lie. They were a huge part of this. In fact, to the point that NBC earlier today actually black men sexist because they said, well, they didn't want to vote for a woman. That was Al Sharpton and Joe Scarborough that dropped those gems this morning. But black men showed up for Donald Trump. And I've seen those numbers, and yeah, they put a whipping on them. They absolutely did. And they said, we're going to, there were some free thinkers now involved in there. So listen to this.
So why do you think that uneducated white women voted against their reproductive health freedoms? And why do you think Latino men voted in favor of someone that's going to deport, says he's going to deport the majority of his community?
White women like being called uneducated white women.
There you go. Listen to what she just said. Look, she's a rhino, and she voted for Kamala, but here you go.
White women like being called uneducated white women.
You're right. They don't. They don't. And they let you know about it in the election yesterday.
I think the economy matters, national security matters. But when you put people in these boxes, I think that's a takeaway from this, right?
Absolutely correct.
2%, right, for Donald.
Okay, absolutely correct. She goes into cope mode on The View this morning, blaming Latinos and white women for President Trump winning the election. Why do you think uneducated white women voted against their reproductive health freedoms? My God, once again, nobody has right. It's based on state. The state put it to a vote. Even Republican states have voted in favor of some kind of abortion. We've seen that. Kansas is one that comes to mind right off the bat. They couldn't help themselves. They tried. You could tell Whoopi Goldberg was furious when they first came on the air. It was in her eyes. The hate was in her eyes. And they went into this tangent about her daughter, Sonny Hostin, her daughter having less rights than she does. What are you talking about? Nobody's lost any rights to anything. They're not taking away your daughter's right to vote or anything like that. My God. Once again, I've never seen women want to kill babies so much in my life. It is unbelievable. We all knew the meltdown on The View was coming. I tell you, uneducated white votes count. Silent majority voted enough. Look at Georgia. My state, rural counties, one children is the reason. They are fed up with all the crap shoved down our throats. But when it wasn't enough, they started taking children from parents. Women know that absolutely has something to do with it. The progressives have tried to reach their hands into the education system, hide things from parents, all the kind of things that if Kamala would have won could have came to fruition in some of these states, and people are like, no, I'm still a parent. The other thing is Christians. People are not stupid. We know where progressives stand on religion now, and people are voting because God should remain, right? And the disrespect for that is a problem. The wanting to shove that to the side is an issue. Latino men are sick and tired of being told what to do by elitist liberals, think they know better than anyone else, and sick and tired of being called Latinx, tired of this woke shit. Yeah, nobody knows what Latinx is. Undoctrinated, fixed it for her. That's a great point. That's a great point. Because we know it's these liberal universities and everything that are sort of brainwashing a lot of these women. I mean, there's meltdowns going on all over social media right now. And a lot of them have been to these colleges. You noticed last night as you're watching the votes, and me and John are live on Black and White Network, and I'm looking at the states, and we start zeroing in on counties. A lot of the blue votes came from counties that had a large liberal progressive university, like Duke, North Carolina, just Ohio State. These large universities, there's something there to that. I mean, seriously, because Sonny is a delusional psychopath that does not live in reality, only in her left-wing liberal ideological bubble. Yeah. We are back. America will be great again. I don't vote based on race or gender. That's a big thing. She went into a tangent about a woman of color getting into office. Look, people don't want to talk about gender or race when it comes to voting for an actual candidate. Nobody should be voted in because of that. That should not be a check mark. All right? Vote on policy, period. I mean, come on, the best candidate. She demonstrated why there's a mandate to get nut job leftists out of our lives. People made a real statement about it. Cope harder. I mean, seriously. There's an art to the restrained meltdown. She's throwing blame, but has to look composed for the camera. Her and Whoopi both, you could tell, were very, very angry. No doubt about it. They tried to keep it together, but you get it. How dare you say uneducated white women voted for Trump? What an elitist bitch. People are fed up with it. Seriously. Hey, Sonny, I am a Christian wife, mother, college graduate, and proud state-employed healthcare worker. I voted for Trump, and I am proud of it because he is going to give my family a better future. Aborting a pregnancy is not everything for all women. I know, and they act like it should be at the top of their list. Actually feeding their children, being able to afford gas, the everyday life things, believe it or not, for a lot of people is number one on the list. Not having their kids slaughtered by some illegal immigrant, that's another thing high on a list. I don't know her education level, but I have a BS, and I'm happily voted for him because there is still a lot of abortion options, and true reproductive care is available for all women, girls. Absolutely. There's Mark Cuban right there. Seriously, it's nuts. Uneducated white women, that's racist. SCOTUS just gave abortion rights back to the state, so it's not a federal issue. Seriously. They just can't figure out that, quote, racism isn't the cause and it isn't going to work for them anymore. What about us black women who also voted for peace and prosperity? Good point. Good point. She just automatically pushes them off to the side. Yeah. So, like I said, I watched the first 15 minutes of it. They did. They were calmer than I expected on The View. Still biggest idiots on the planet walking face of the earth, and you can tell they are struggling mightily to hold it together. Sonny Hostin, here we are. It took her 12 seconds to start race baiting in this thing. Seriously. Tell me what you think, uneducated white women that voted for Trump. How dare you? Peace. I'm out. Till next time.